All right, cool. We're live.
We're live.
And we're the only ones today, apparently.
That's good.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's I think oh, what was it? NBC, they have the show called Saturday Night Live, right?
right.
And there's this very interesting I don't know who it was who said that. The guy said it's not that we're ready, that we're live at 11:30 on Saturday night or whatever the time is.
Right.
It's because it's 11:30 that we go live,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So no matter what, we just do it. Like the show still goes on no matter what happens, and that's part of the consistency.
Yeah. No, I mean that's the whole thing in life though, is right. It's like you just do it because it's time, not because you're ready. Because if you wait to, you're never going to be ready. Like, you know. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
that's true. It's almost like um, it's everything in life.
yeah,
You'll never be ready, right? Nobody's ever ready to have a kid. Nobody's ever ready to launch a business. Nobody's ever ready to go talk to that girl. All of that stuff is always the same. But you just
exactly.
you just do what has to be done no matter what. It's a very interesting paradigm that we're because all our life we have been like trained to be the best, right? To get ready all the time, to give your very best, give your very best, get ready for the test, get ready for this, get ready for that. Where it's like this doesn't work like that, or
Yeah.
parts of life don't work like that.
No, yeah. When the barbarians are at your gates, I mean, it's good if you trained ahead of time, but when it's time to fight, it's time to fight, right? It's like you don't have a choice. And it's interesting. I was just going over this with someone. I was talking about the television program, and they're like, "Oh gosh, I don't know, John. Like you don't have as much like renovation experience, like demoing houses and like remodeling. Like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna, maybe you should just tell them and not do this and not do
Mhm.
this show." And and the thing is, like, I'll be ready. Like if I take that philosophy, then I say, oh, you know what? Yeah, this sounds like a great opportunity, but I don't think I'm ready.
Yeah,
Then what was it going to come around again? Am I going to get a chance to host no, it's not going to come around again. I'm not going to be and when will I be ready? Like, what will happen is I commit to it, and then I'll have to be ready when the show starts. I'll have to, I'll have to, buy some
yeah,
books. I'll have to learn. I'll have to go and do some projects. I'll have to make sure that I'm ready so that I can succeed. And even if I don't succeed, then I fail. So what? So, like, it's better than not taking the shot. It's like,
yeah,
I guess what it came down to is basically, as I was talking about this idea, is like, look, if it's time and you're not ready, you take the shot anyway, and you either succeed, by you sink or swim, essentially. Like, you either succeed and it's great, and now you grow rapidly, and now you get thrust forward, or you fail, but at least you took a shot and you learned
yeah,
something, right? But if you just sit on the sidelines and you just say, well, I'm never gonna swing unless I know I can hit, then you're never going to swing.
yeah.
So
I think
or yeah, or you only be swinging at like t-balls. Like, it's never going to move you forward. It doesn't, like, the stuff that you can hit is not the stuff you should ever be aiming for.
yeah. In the 10x rule, Grant Cardone talks about the idea. Like that's one of the principles of 10x rule. Not that I'm a fan of Grant Cardone as much as I used to be anymore, but that's a different story altogether. Uh, but the book is great, and the idea there, like he says, if you want if you want to do 10x, like without this principle, you will basically not be able to do it, and that
Yeah,
is commit first, figure it out later. Because
exactly.
you could wait to figure it out forever, but you got to commit first and figure it out later. Most people in life want to commit after,
Yeah,
figure out first. I think, and all of us, like I've been there, and I do that again and again. Sometimes there are so many blind spots that I don't even know I'm doing that in certain parts of life. So that's like a great reminder every fucking time that I got to commit first, figure it out later. Commit first, figure it out later.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly right. There's like a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote that's like, what is it? Shit, it's like
I
something
think
about the universe moving to you, like,
yeah.
when
Well,
you,
until you commit, uh, um, like there is nothing. But once you commit, providence moves too. And
yeah, that's
uh,
it.
I think it's Goethe,
Oh,
not
maybe, yeah,
Emerson. I think it's it's attributed to Emerson for some reason in popular folklore, but it's actually Goethe who actually Goethe or whatever Goethe,
good for
whatever you
you.
want to call him. He's the one who said it. Uh, uh, some reason Emerson gets a lot of credit for that quote. I know because I was researching on it.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Go with that.
Goethe, yeah.
Yeah. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy. The chance to draw back always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too.
hmm It's
So
true, man. Everything in life, I can look back today and I can say that it all happened as a result of having that commitment. Without that commitment, it didn't happen. Like it was just a drag until that commitment came through, and then it happened.
yeah,
Like whether it was me getting kicked out of a job and having to find another job, that's also commitment. That's external. It's almost like the same thing as what Napoleon Hill talks about in burning the bridges.
hmm
You got to burn the boats, you got to burn the bridges in order to take the island. And it's the same. The level of commitment is the same no matter what,
yeah,
whether it's
it,
external or internal.
yep, yep. I always like to say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go. I'm doing it."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
okay,
yeah,
so,
you figure out the way. So
yeah. So commit first. I think it should be a motto I should incorporate in my 100 principles to live by.
and the other piece of it too is, like I said, I mean, this is like, so the reason why people don't do it is because they're afraid what happens if they fail. And the answer to that question is, so what? Like, you're in the same place as if you never tried, right? It's like you're usually not in a worse place. I mean, I guess arguably there's some times where you could be in a worse place if you fail, but you're definitely in a worse place if you don't try. So
Yeah. There is an emotional charge that you get that only comes with that commitment, that burning the boats, that's like walking away, that you
yeah,
don't get when things are okay. Like your performance is not at your very best when you don't have that emotional charge. You need that emotional charge to get to a certain level. Thank you. Yeah, you need to get to a certain level of emotional charge to give your very best, and that's why, like, even Saturday Night Live guys, like they're doing it, or Bruce Springsteen or whoever it is, like they go do the performance, even if they're sweating and they're like Bruce Springsteen talks about the idea that he knows he's ready when his palms are sweating and his neck is tight and everything is like he's almost like feeling like he's going to throw up. He knows that's
yeah,
the time to go to the stage because even now he gets anxious and nervous about performing. I mean, he's been performing forever, but that's the key, right? You need that level of you need to be in that zone, in the burn zone, in some ways,
yeah.
to get to the next level. Um, in that emotional charge zone to get to the next level.
So I've been waking up at 5:30 every morning this
Nice,
week and going for a 5 mile run.
nice.
So I've done it every single day this week, and I'm planning on continuing to do that. So I finally got back on track, and then I started using my Pomodoro system and planning my week this week. So this week I've been crushing it, getting back, just going into work mode, super work
Nice.
mode.
I love it.
And
What are you, other than the YouTube channel videos, like what else are you focusing on now? Or is that the thing?
So I've got a bunch of things underway, like a few different projects. So one of them is the book that I'm writing, the Bulldog Mindset book. So I'm putting together a book proposal for that to get it traditionally published. So I actually bought a course on how to write a book proposal.
Wow.
It's actually pretty extensive of a document. So I went through that course this week, and I've started actually working through the worksheets to put this together, because I'm gonna try to pitch it to. I wanted to go to one of the top 5 publishers, one of the top 5 New York publishers.
Nice.
So that's the plan for that. So it has to be done. It has to be done really well. So I'm working on that. That's one project, and then I'll be writing that book. And then I'm working on. I set up this week the Bulldog Mindset website. So bulldogmindset.com actually goes somewhere now. It's like
Do you also have the Bulldog Mindset or just Bulldog Mindset?
I just have Bulldog Mindset.
I think you should also get the Bulldog Mindset.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's a lot of variations you could
10
buy.
$10, but it's the Bulldog Mindset is what. Do you say the channel Bulldog Mindset or the Bulldog Mindset, or the book is Bulldog Mindset, the Bulldog Mindset?
I just say Bulldog Mindset. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
right.
But yeah, so I've been working on.
I'll go ahead and buy that domain just to.
Nice. So yeah, so I got that set up. Like I set up a server WordPress and got a theme on there. It still needs a ton of work. The goal was just to put up, and I have an email capture and email list started. So that's.
Are you driving any traffic from YouTube World for that?
Not yet. I still like the initial goal was just to get it set up. Next week I'll be working on actually getting it driving traffic and setting up the lead magnets and all that stuff. So
nice.
I found this guy on YouTube that a lot of my followers were subscribing to. He's actually really good. He's got a pretty good channel, and he's got a really good system. Actually, you can check it out. It's called How to Beast.
Oh yeah, I'm the one who told you about it.
Oh yeah, you might have mentioned him too. Yeah.
No. I'm the one who told you about it. Remember?
No. A lot of people.
Dude, we were talking about this like 2 months ago.
Yeah. Okay.
We're talking about how his videos have become so engaging compared to what he used to be.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
How in like really short, like 4 or 5 minute videos, he gives really good, like solid. He does really engaging videos, and I was talking about how to make our videos more engaging. But anyways, it doesn't matter if I was telling you. For all of you guys listening, his channel is 2,000 books, by the way.
So check out the website. On his website, on his How to Beast website, like his landing page is at How to Beast. We do 2 things, and then he's got a little get jacked or get confident. Choose wisely, and then each one says click to start. And the cool thing is, if you click one of these, right, it immediately takes you to another landing page, gives you, and then a get access now where you type in your email address, and then that starts a 3-day email course, a video email course, right? So he's using video. I don't know what's at the end of it. I'm going through the process, but I like the way he's got this set up. I like the way he's got the blog and the landing page. So what I'm basically going to do is basically do the same thing. Like do very similar.
I wouldn't trust his marketing skills as much as I trust his video skills, because I don't really know how much he makes in the business per se. I do know his video engagement skills are awesome, but having seen some of his videos, I'm not convinced that he makes so much money.
No, I don't think so. But here's the thing. The way that it's set up with this funnel is good. Right now, whether he's selling something well on the end of the funnel, I don't know. Right. But this is a pretty good. This is basically what I wanted to do, or what I want to do. So I'm basically gonna do something very similar to what he's doing here. So yeah, so that's the goal, is basically to get that set up, and then I'm trying to think what else I've been working on. That's pretty much the main thing. There's like a few other things. Oh, what I'm also doing? I'm revamping the YouTube channel. Obviously, with the rebranding and everything. But I'm also going through, and on my Trello board for my YouTube videos, I'm planning them out better. So I'm doing more videos that are like 5 ways to X, right? So I've got a video planned out on 5 ways to get out of debt. and I've got 5 points in there that I've already like kind of typed out. And so when I do the video, it won't be reading a script, but I'll have like a more concrete, like I'll have more of a goal of the video for these videos. So I've got a few of those where I've kind of teed that up. So I'm kind of refining the process so that the video is more geared towards what the title is going to be and what it's going to be conveying rather than just a random video. So I'm going to be working on that process and just trying to improve the video content that way. So
nice. So video and book basically, and the website as well. So there's a lot now. It's almost like a new. I'm sure you'll get a lot of email traffic pretty quickly because of your channel.
Yeah. I'll eventually, once I have the website up and I've got a good lead magnet on there, then I'll start converting over all the links on YouTube to that, and then that's basically the plan right now.
So I did a survey of my audience for the productivity course. Two winners. Actually, these are the funny thing is, all along I knew these were the biggest titles.
Okay.
But I wanted to get like a more sample space, so I kept on like creating more titles, and it's amazing. Like I basically got the same feedback that I knew all along, which is kind of crazy, right? So the two things that I got were 10-step process to double your productivity by 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, not today, tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
It all starts tonight. And the other one is never procrastinate again. 10 strategies to kill procrastination.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. So both of those are going to go in now as products pretty soon. I was thinking of one, but both are going to go in, and they're also going to be like part of the upsell we do with the productivity launch.
Yeah.
The productivity promotion. So I'm excited about that. So I told you guys about the screw up that Focus at Will guys had with the info product, right? Stupid.
Where they only sold like
$3,000 worth.
What the hell? How does that even happen? Like what?
Let me send you the link to his thing. Don't say the name out loud because I don't want the guy to feel bad if he's watching. But just take a look at the sales page, and you'll know exactly why it didn't sell at all. Like literally, when I looked at the sales page, I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, how do you sell this? How can you ever sell something like that, right?"
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm pretty sure the guy sells it to his list, because when it's selling it to your list, sales pitch doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
As we learned the hard way.
Well, exactly.
But
it's funny. Sometimes when you have a big list and you're selling stuff, you start to like get in this false confidence of believing that you don't need any copy and you don't need the sales pitch or anything, but it's not true. So this is like a wake-up call. It's not magic money.
I was reading something, and the guy said, "Give me a list of perfect buyers and give me a crappy sales page, and it will still convert. Give me the perfect sales page and give me a list of non-ready buyers, and I cannot convert."
Yeah, there's a really good book called Irresistible Offer.
Mark Joyner.
And that like is the formula I think he has in there is it's like, I thought it said it's either 60 or 80% offer. No, it's like 60% offer, 20% copy, 20% the list or 20 cents, whatever, or price maybe. I can't remember exactly.
No. The list has to be like 100% in the sense. List starts everything, right? Wrong list, you cannot sell anything.
Yeah. It's but the offer is the most important piece.
Yeah.
It was like Domino's, the 30 minutes or less, right?
List,
or the others free.
List, offer, copy. That would make sense. List, offer, copy.
Yeah, it's unclear exactly what there's. I guess. Okay, like it's a membership.
Okay, I get it that he's selling a membership, but what is there?
It's not results oriented, unfortunately.
There's
Like
nothing on it. Like,
the problem is it's like it's not telling you what you're going to get results wise. It's telling you, like, if you're familiar with this product and this person, then you want this stuff. But if you're not, then you need to know what results you're getting. It's not selling results.
Not only, I don't even know what's in the membership area. All it says is step-by-step videos, exclusive interviews, custom coaching. But it doesn't say what is in there. It talks about the bonuses. It talks about everything, but what the hell is that thing? Testimonials, FAQs.
It's got like the bullets of it, because it's like, or
where are the bullets? Videos. I don't see it.
Well, it's boxes. You see, it's
but where are they? Which
videos,
ones?
Interviews, coaching, content, progress tracking. But what the fuck does that actually mean, right?
But it's not bullets. Like when we talk bullets, we're talking specific benefits, right?
Right, exactly.
These are feature sets.
These are features.
These are not even features. These are like crappier than features. It's like me saying, hey, you get 10 hours of video on a Teachable platform, not WordPress platform.
If Josh were here, he would be talking about the buyer's like awareness level, right? Because you go from the person doesn't even know that they have a problem. So they know how they have a problem, right? But they don't know what your, anything about your solution or the space. They've researched, they know the competitors in the space, right? And they're familiar with them. They're familiar with your thing, and where they are on that awareness depends on how your pitch is. If someone doesn't know that they have the problem and they're not familiar with you, you have to start with pushing on their pain point and then offering the solution like that. Like you have to educate them up to that level, and they're already aware of, like, for example, when we tried to sell the Pluralsight deal, we're not telling them what Pluralsight is. Like they know what Pluralsight is already. All we have to do is say, here's a discount and this is some awesome shit and here's the results people got.
His sales page is not designed for cold traffic at all.
No.
On warm traffic, on his own traffic, he can sell it, just like what you guys are talking about. But cold traffic, oh my God.
What did the pitch email look like?
I can send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. I'm curious. Because in the pitch email, you can overcome that. Well, you need a couple of emails.
But the thing is, they only sent one email.
Yeah.
Right? And at those numbers, man, like if you're getting the clicks, there's something to be said about it. If you can drive traffic to the sales page with the idea of productivity, at that point, the sales page has to do something. He said 17,000 clicks the last time I talked, probably like 20,000 clicks total.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And $3,000. Oh.
That's bad. It's ridiculous though, because it's like they're like, even at the top of that page, everyone listening or watching is like, what the hell are they talking about? But if you click the what's included, it takes you to those blocks. And it's got like step-by-step videos, and then it says, "I'll take you behind the scenes to show you, blank strategies in action." Or what does that mean? Like that's the thing. It's like, so there's video. So there's videos of unknown quantity content, unknown topics. These are just strategies, like not getting things, not one particular strategy, but strategy. It just doesn't. It's got to be more clear on what.
This could literally, in my books, go down as one of the worst sales pages I've seen.
Yeah.
For cold traffic.
Yeah.
For warm traffic, I could not tell because I don't know how the guys are receptive to that. They probably like the guy, and that's why they sell all the way. But to cold traffic, there's nothing I know from this page.
It's still no good for warm traffic because it could be better, because you can't assume that someone knows who you are and what your benefit.
That's warm traffic, right?
Yeah. So, well, even still, even warm traffic doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that they know what you think that they know, right? Like it just means they are aware of you, that they know who you are, right? So
okay, so I guess hot traffic is your own list. So hot traffic, it won't be a problem. But warm traffic,
even your own list, it's they still need more than than this. They need to know what they're going to get, like what the benefits they're going to get are, right? I mean, yes, you'll sell more, obviously, but you won't sell. The question is not whether you'll sell more; it's where you'll sell the best, right?
Yeah.
Is there and this does not do the best for either scenario. So,
And then what's the other thing missing? Urgency.
yeah, there's no
And there was no urgency that was programmed into the sales process.
Well, that's enough just to kill it right there.
Yeah, that's good.
There's no discount or anything. Yeah. Again, the reason why discounts work is because that's the offer.
Yeah.
Right. So that's, and the urgency is part of that as well. So
yeah, the discount is the offer, and if you know your pricing metrics well, you can do some amazing things. Right? The way we did it with real-time testing of pricing, we know exactly what the price is that we're selling.
Yeah.
To get EPC right. At 20,000 clicks, man, you should be sitting in front of the computer all day trying to get the best fucking conversion on whatever you're doing. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You cannot leave it to chance.
So you need to you'll need to convince these guys that yours is going to do much better. Otherwise.
Yeah. So that's my job now. Like when my friend comes back, we're gonna have to have a talk and talk about, are you guys feeling really nervous about the whole promoting another info product now because of this stupidity that went down? And if that is the case, let's talk about what are the like how can I allay your fears? How can I make it really easy for you guys? Like we talked about, so my friend Zach, Zach, right?
Yeah.
Zach suggested another idea. He's like, instead of even doing an affiliate deal, just buy a promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Say, what is the money you make on your email? Let me pay you that. Or if you want, I'll pay you a little more. Right? And I'll take all the risk.
Yeah. The thing is, okay, you want to do an affiliate deal, though, and I'll tell you why, is because you need to get them in on this to send more than one email. You need to do it like we did it on my list, right? Where we had multiple emails over multiple days with a timed offer, because otherwise it's just not gonna, and it has to be very customized. If you're just gonna blast one email with an ad in it, it's not gonna be, it's not enough of a, right? And the messaging needs to be coming from them directly. That's the key. It's like it's got to be set up well. That's why I'd say, again, and I've done this with Simple Programmer with affiliate deals. We gave up on affiliate deals because we make no sales. But then when we changed the strategy, the way we did with yours, the way we did with Interview Cake, the way we did with Pluralsight, where we actually treated it like it was our own product.
So what was the change in strategy? Tell me more. Like what happened? What was the difference?
The difference was treating it like it's our own product, like we're doing a launch for our own product. Actually going through and customizing the emails and making the emails specifically as if we're launching our own product, like that, with time sensitive, heavy discount for sure, and making it actually, like I said, just like a regular launch, like a regular sale. So the messaging is coming from us.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. I mean, I don't know how far they're willing to go with the number of emails. That's something also to be figured out. But I guess I'm assuming if we can do well in one email, then I can prove it to them to do it again for another email, right?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be the initial.
Yeah.
Huh?
It has to be a sequential. I mean, it's not just like you're sending one email. The emails are building up to a purpose, right? They're putting out the information, like it's specific kinds of emails. Look at the emails that Josh sent for.
No, I saw that.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it. Like I was thinking about what we were doing in terms of sales.
Yeah.
Even with the first email, we were getting pretty decent EPC right off the bat.
Right.
And pretty good numbers. So if these guys are not open to sending multiple emails, all I need to do is make sure in the one email that they send out,
you craft it like
enough
that one.
Urgency that the offer ends tonight, not tomorrow.
Right.
So that we get the maximum EPC, and then the likelihood of doing the promotion again goes up because now we got max CPC out of the offer.
Right, exactly.
Right. So I don't know if I can convince them right away to send multiple emails, but if the first email we can convert even at like, given he got like 15 cents a click, the other guy.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure if I get even like $1 or $2 per click, we're pretty much golden. 15% per click is the revenue, not the split.
That's horrible. Yeah.
All right.
An ad, just a regular display ad, would do better than that.
Much better than that. It was brutal.
Yeah.
So if I can convince them that instead of 15 we can get $1.50, that's 10x right there. And I'm pretty sure we can do better than that, but that's like 30K right there. So if they can generate that with one email, now we can go back again and again and say, hey man, we did it, let's mail it out to the ones who didn't buy, or mail it to the ones who didn't click, or blah blah blah. It's like, I don't know if they'll do multiple emails, which is cool. Like let them just mail it out and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely just craft it as if they're going to be multiple emails. Just basically copy Josh's template, and you're going to succeed, because we know that already works, right?
Yeah.
So just do that. I mean, you'll have to make some modifications to it, but
yeah. So I'll basically, I'm kind of I'm kind of nervous about the whole thing because of that stupidity now, as to how it will play out.
But you have to commit.
Yeah, you're right. I was actually just going to say, how much promotion should I do for them, given that I don't know how it's going to play out? Should I commit or not to this? But you just said what was on my mind right away.
If it crash and burn, that's the thing. This analogy of like, the thing is, like, it's such a weird element of human psychology, right? I remember when I was a kid, there was this like ditch that we used to, like in the building area where we used to play around. There was like this forest and there was like this graveyard and stuff. We used to always like go over there and tool around in the forest, right? And there was this big ass ditch. It was like this 6-foot ditch, right, that they had put there. And sometimes there'd be some wooden planks and stuff where you could cross it, but most of the time there'd be nothing there. And it's funny, like, you'd have to really run and jump to make it. Like, you could make it, right, if you ran and jumped. But what would happen, like, is you would go a lot of times and you'd go and you'd start running really hard, and then as you get closer to the edge of the ditch, you'd actually like start to slow down so that you're not running as hard as you can, and then jump and you fall right in the fucking ditch, right? And so it was like there was two sensible choices to make. One of them is, if you're going to run at the ditch and you're not going to go full speed, then just stop. Don't jump. Like, only jump if you're going full speed, right? Or just fucking run as hard as you can. Don't care whether you're going to make it or not, and jump. Yeah. And that's going to give you the best chance of crossing the ditch. Maybe you won't make it. Maybe you won't. But the alternative is stupid. To like stutter step at the end is the guaranteed worst way to. But we go through life doing that all the time. All the time we do that, right? Instead of just going full bore. If we think we might not be able to make it, we let off the thrust. Whereas we should just be going full thrust, and then fuck, whatever happens, happens. If we fall in the ditch, we fall in the ditch. But or don't do it at all. It's like, but that's I don't know. That's how we are wired.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Shit, I've been like dilly-dallying on both of these promotions, not giving my 100% to promoting the product per se, because I don't know what will get them to. Well, in this case, in Focus at Will case, I actually know what will get them to convert, right? What will get them to say yes, in the sense, I used to know, but after this stupid promotion, I don't know what will happen. So I need to talk to my friend who comes back next week. But with Freedom, I'm still in the very early phases, which I'm like not clear how it'll all work out. So like part of me is like, should I spend all this time and commit all this time on like trying to build a relationship, promote their product? I believe in both the products. I think they're amazing products for productivity. I just don't know if I can I just don't know if I should spend all the time and energy on promoting them and not knowing whether this will come out or not. With Focus at Will, it's a little bit easier hedge because my friend is here who knows like who I can work with, but the others, like, I have no idea.
Yeah, so, well, again, I think it just comes down to either you're giving the effort or you're not.
Yeah.
Right? So make the choice.
Yeah, I mean that's where we're talking about you know, is that a good strategy or a bad strategy? Is that a strategy that I should go after, or should I go after something else? Spend, like, because time is money, right? So should I be spending time on that, or should I be spending time on something else that could return better results?
Yeah. If you go for it, then go for it all the way. If you don't, then don't go for it.
That's fair. So then the question becomes, should I go for it?
What is the size of the list? What is the...
$1 million.
It seems like it's worth a shot. I mean, take the investment now and see what happens. Right? I mean, the chances of you... What is success for you?
Success for me is actually okay. In this case, it will have to be. There's so many different ways to measure it now. It could be that they feel it was a worthy promotion.
Okay, I would define it. What about defining it in terms of if you can just get them to do the mailing, that's success for you?
Fair.
Because that's what you can, like, I mean, well, ultimately, I guess you can't really even control that, but that's a good, that's still success, right? That's like something that's what all your efforts that you'd be working towards would be trying to achieve.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, ultimately, that's the starting point of this effort. Like, or that is if we can get that, then the results will come.
And how much effort do you believe that you'll have to put in order to get that result? And what's the probability of you getting that result?
Yeah, that's the challenge, right? Because I don't know when they will say yes or how they will say yes or how it will all work out, right? This is relationship building. This is affiliate relationships. We just don't know how these things will work out. How much time did it take for me to work with you guys, for you guys to say yes? It's very relative, right? It took a while, or did it say it took a day? Right? We could, all of the above are true.
So, okay, here's two more questions. How much do you think that this will move the needle if you achieve success for your business?
Huge. Like, if this were to work, if they did mail out to their list, this could be a 6-figure day.
Okay, so remember Chet's Ultimate Sales Machine, right? The Ultimate Sales Machine book.
Yeah.
Remember we said like your top 100?
Yeah, they're in the top 100. They're in the top 10 right now.
Okay, so now the next question is, if you gave it everything you could, do you believe that you could get them to mail to their list?
With Focus at Will, yeah. With Freedom, I don't know, because they've never done it before.
If you've employed every networking, relationship building, seduction strategy that you can from your arsenal, do you believe that you can get them to mail it? Like,
yeah, I mean, when I talked to the VP there, he was open to the idea. He did not just say, "Oh no, we don't do this kind of stuff." When I shared the numbers with him and I said, "This is what we are able to do," like, "Hey, interesting. Yeah, let's explore this further."
Then one last question would be: is there any other prospect, any other thing in your business that you could be doing, spending your time, that would achieve a greater result, which with a higher chance of success?
Nothing that I can see right now. But in this right now, the highest point of return in my business is any kind of affiliate deal we could do.
Right.
Because it's huge. Especially as the list size grow, it becomes crazy. And the other thing is that if I can prove this model to 2 productivity apps, I can take it to 100 productivity apps.
Then do it. Then you know what? Mail them some chunky mail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe you mail them like a bunch of books that are covered in your book summary, right? Maybe mail them 10 books, 10 big ass books, and you say something along the lines of, my book summaries, like, how long would you think it would take you to read these 10 books? My book summaries have 5 times more than these 10 books. And right, you know what I'm saying, and you can get it, and you can get all that information in 5 hours or whatever. Give them some kind of pitch that's going to give them something visual. Go all out so they notice you, so they, you know what I mean? Basically, the other thing I like about this, like, if you go all out, this ditch jumping strategy, right? There is a point where you will figure out whether this is going to happen or not, right? So go all out and see if you're going to get blown out. And if you get blown out, then good. Then you get blown out quickly and you can move on. But if you don't get blown out, then keep on pursuing, keep on going until you score. So
the 100 list that Chet Holmes talked about, it's actually the same thing that what's his name, Russell Brunson talks about in his book Expert Secrets. He talks about how he grew ClickFunnels. Was he made a list of 100 people that he wanted to work with. He literally just started to pound the door, like pound the pavement, to get to each of these guys, and like going again and again and making the offer. And not, I think there is hesitation in my mind because I don't know if they'll do it or not. But I feel like until one is committed, there's hesitation.
Exactly. If you just commit to going all out on this, putting your whole reputation on the line, that you can convince them to do this, right? That's what you have to do in your head. Yeah. Nathan Barry did the same thing with ConvertKit, right?
What?
That was the same strategy. So we know.
What do you mean? What was the strategy?
He made his list and he was just knocking on doors. That's how he got Pat Flynn, and he got a bunch of big clients by calling them up and basically like courting them until he got his big deal list. So
Dream 100.
Yeah.
I should work with Dream 10 right now.
Yeah, Dream 10. That's what you want, is your Dream 10.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I should make a list of Dream 5 or Dream 10 and go whole hog on them and just do whatever I need to get this to work. And that's going to be my only, like, we talk about in good to great or some of these other like, it's almost like 80-20, not 80-20, it's like 99-1 in some ways.
Right.
So if we go all in on one strategy, then that's the one. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so.
But it's so true. But it's like, I mean, that's how you have to do it for sure. Otherwise it becomes a weight. It's like the same thing. Like, I always go through this same thing with me, like on the fitness side of things, right? Diet, nutrition, fitness. Like, you can put in like 80% or 70% effort in that and just tread water and not make any progress or make negative progress. But it doesn't cost you very much more to put in the 100%. It's like 30% more for an actual return, for like a 200, 300%, 1,000% return.
Yeah.
Because of the cumulative effect.
Yeah. And the commitment has a very interesting way of changing everything. It's pretty funny. Like, the lesson of commitment that we started the call with is basically coming back to bite me in my ass right now.
Yeah.
And I actually said it in that whole idea that, there are so many times in my life that I'm not able to practice it. And I can see that happening right now, that I'm like unable to commit. I'm like waffling on this because I'm like, oh man, if I spend all this time and energy and if it doesn't work and blah, 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 like, well, should I spend all this time and energy? And I can see that's basically a disaster strategy, because then nothing works, nothing moves the needle.
Right. Yeah. No,
Then I'll always be looking for what happens is, if I let go of something like this, then I'm basically saying, hey, let's keep looking for an easier strategy.
Right.
There's no easier strategy. This is the strategy.
Well, and here's what you do. Here's how you do this. You time box this too, right?
Yeah.
You basically say, look, I don't want to, because the risk involved. Okay, so it's this whole idea of eliminating the downside, right? If you eliminate or cap the downside,
Yeah.
and you have an unbounded upside, you have a perfect trade, right? In the stock market, when I used to play options, that was like any kind of good trading strategy. Warren Buffett employs the same strategy, which is don't lose money, right? Limit, which basically means limit the downside. In Millionaire Fastlane, MJ DeMarco talks about this idea, right? The same exact thing. I think he's talking about nickels, right? When he had the nickels, and he's like got these bag of nickels, and he's like, there's no downside. You can't lose money. You can't lose money. And buying all these nickels, they're worth the money they're worth 5 cents at least, right? So you're not going to lose the money. And nickel, the metal, is worth more than 5 cents. So I can melt down these nickels, and it's like there's no way that this investment, it only has an upside. So if you can eliminate the downside when you trade, like doing stock trading, you hedge the downside so that the only potential for the trade is to go up. Right. It might not do anything, but you can't lose money. So those are perfect. Any kind I can get into a real estate deal, any kind of investment where there's no downside. There's like getting a lien on a property, for instance, when you buy a property, you take back a loan, right? Or you invest money, but you've got the first position lien and you know the property is worth more than you've lent. No downside, only upside. So in this scenario, my long lead into this, the way that you eliminate the downside is you say, or you cap the downside, is you say, my biggest risk here, my biggest downside is wasting a bunch of time, right? It's not even effort, it's time, right? So what you do is you say, okay, I'm going to try for the next 1 month, next 4 weeks, I am going to blast this as hard as I can, give everything, commit to this 100%. I'm going to do everything that I can, make this my primary focus to make this deal happen. And at the end of 1 month, if it doesn't happen or I'm not.
Yeah, fair. Though I'm concerned that 1 month might not be enough time to make it work for something like this, given the magnitude of the deal as well.
Well,
I don't know.
Give it your full effort for a month.
Yeah.
Right. And then at the end of the month, you can reevaluate. But that's the thing, is like, so, you're looking at your position at the end of the month. Where are you? Did you move the needle? Is it moving in the direction you need to move? Is it worth investing more? But the thing is, the reason why you cap it is so that you can commit fully and give it your full effort, right, for that 1 month period. If you don't cap it, then it's like, you don't know how much time it's going to drain and how much effort. But if you cap and you say, okay, I'm not going to care about the results. I'm only going to focus on doing this. I've committed to this for 1 month, and then I'm going to evaluate the results after that. Then it's the same thing. Like if, a lot of times when I would coach someone on a diet or fitness program, I would say, just commit, like, you're just going to do this for 2 months. This is what you're going to do. You're going to eat this, you're going to run, you're going to lift weights, you're going to do this for 2 months. You're not going to look in the mirror. You're not going to look at the progress. You're not going to care. At the end of 2 months, let's see where you are. Let's see what your progress, like, just commit to doing it, right? It's the whole trusting the process thing. Because if you start looking at the scale every day, you're going to get discouraged. So a lot of people. So instead, you're just focusing on just saying, I'm just going to do it. Just going to do this. And then we'll reevaluate at the end.
Yeah. 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 I have to give this a pretty solid try, because basically this could change the face of this could change the business.
Yeah.
Because instead of chasing summary clients one by one that we've been doing through YouTube and all that stuff, you basically get thousands in a day.
Right.
Because if we can do this just a couple of times, I could literally hire someone to go spend a lot of time on finding and building these relationships, spending a lot more time on this stuff, part of the business. Like this could become one of the most important parts of the business.
And here's the, what I would do if I were you is go and get this deal with the whatchamacallit, the first one first.
Focus at Will.
Yeah, get them to do it first, because you're going to be able to get them to do it.
Yeah.
So get some stats, right? And then say, oh, this is how much money they made, and talk about how they mailed this first this thing to their list, and they made $3,000. And then they did yours, and they made X number of dollars. That's going to make it so that the second domino is going to fall that much easier.
Yeah. So I have to commit to making the first one succeed in the next whatever time it takes, even if it takes a month. Just make the damn thing happen. Do everything in my power to make it happen. And then a lot of that work is actually not so much. Now that I think about it, it's really doesn't take as much time other than promoting their product.
Right.
Promoting their product is the one thing that takes time. But even that is realistic if I actually make it a point to promote their product for the whole month as a sponsor, as a sponsor on our podcast, as a YouTube videos that we do, maybe send out emails, like go whole hog on the promotion of their product to see what happens, and to get them the numbers that would help them feel like, okay, well, this is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to commit. I need to commit to the strategy all the way. Dream 100 commit. And then figure out whatever falls, however it falls. So, okay. How do you go about, should I even worry about right now, like making a list of any more Dream 100, or just focus on whatever I have in my pipeline and just make this happen with the ones that I have now that I'm trying to get this Dream 100 strategy to work?
I would just focus on what you have in your pipeline. In fact, I would just focus on the one deal that's most likely to happen. Because if you get that one, then you've got what you need. Then it makes the other deals. What's the one thing that I could do today that will make everything else 80% easier, right? The one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing. This is the one thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you get this, focus on this. This is the biggest thing that moves the needle, and then you can make your list afterwards.
Yeah. I think the strategy for me is get the first domino to fall.
Yep.
Maybe get the second domino to fall, and then worry about creating a list of 100 more dominoes or 20 more dominoes to go after. Right. Rather than try to go after all 20 of them at the same time, because then I'll spread my effort and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
So make one of them fall. So it's almost like there is commitment inside of commitment inside of commitment. Yeah. Or let me put it, there's 80-20 inside of 80, not just the meta level, the fact that there's 80-20 inside of 80-20 in the sense there's 4%, 64%, not that. What I mean is, even when, let's say, I commit to the 80-20 idea that I will just do book summary business, inside that book summary business is another 80-20, which is saying, exactly, I'll just commit to YouTube as a form of traffic, right? Yeah. But inside that is another form of 80-20 where I say, I will just commit to making these kinds of videos.
Right.
And inside that, there's another kind of, so it's almost like the 80-20 never ends in terms of the strategies you deploy in life. Like you can keep on getting finer and finer on those strategies.
Until, well, there's an atomic point, which is when you get to the time that you're going to spend, when it maps, when there's a point where it stops becoming an abstraction, it becomes reality, and that's when it directly maps to time. So for instance, right, this exact thing, when I wrote my first book, I committed to writing the book, large book. Then I had committed to writing the chapters that like I had the table of contents that had those chapters. And then I committed a schedule for when I was going to do one chapter a day. And then I committed to, on that particular day, at doing this chapter. And then I committed to, at this time, on this day, right now, today, no matter what else happens, I am committing to writing this chapter. And that was the lowest level, right? Was writing this chapter, have to do it. Has to happen today, now. It doesn't matter if it's good. It doesn't matter if it has to be revised. It only has to be done, right? And so that's the level to break it down to, and that's where you're getting with, that's where you have to get to here, so that you can commit to that lowest level piece. So the question then becomes, what do you have to do today, right?
The thing with something like this is that every day it changes because you're getting feedback from the other side, right? Your path could deviate. It's not like writing a book where you say, I'll write the book, no matter what happens, irrespective, I will do the typing, right? With writing a book, it's a very one person, like inward driven process in some ways, or it's a lead. There are only lead metrics there because you are writing a book. Here, what happens is you do something, they do something, and now your path changes because of what they did.
Well, that's yes and no. I think at the highest level, that's the reactive approach. But the responsive approach says this, right? Because I work
responsive or proactive.
The responsive or proactive. I would say it's the same in this case. So like take the way I do my productivity, right, with my weekly plan. So the way it works like this is Monday morning, the first task that I have is to plan out my entire week. So I take all the cards that I have of the stuff that I have in my next week column, and I put them out, and I figure out, I look at my calendar and look at how many Pomodori I can accomplish per day, and I plan it out, and I calculate how many Pomodori every one of those things is going to take, and I put it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and have that all on the board. Okay. Then the next task is for that day. I take the ones for that day and I just plan out that day, put that in today's column, and that's what I'm going to do today. And then I work on those things as if no one else is going to interfere with me, and this is what my plan is to do. Then what happens is inevitably, well, okay, so just take at the lower level, right? Or it should just be at the higher level. So the next day, so Tuesday happens. So Tuesday morning, the first thing that I do on Tuesday morning is read through the schedule and modify it. So it needs to be retrued, right, at that point. So I go and I say, okay, this is what was planned for Tuesday. Well, is there anything left over from Monday that didn't get done, that my estimations were wrong? Okay, so that's going to knock some things back. I planned Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. At that point, should take less time. And then there's the question of, has anything come up? Did I get any kind of response from something that changes the plans, that changes the urgency of the things, or what I'm going to work on? If that's the case, then I make those changes to the schedule, and then boom, right? Same thing Wednesday. And then there's the smaller level of it, which is sometimes in the middle of the day, something might change. That would have to be urgent. I'd have to get a phone call, right? And if things become, or maybe I have to run to a meeting, and maybe I'm not going to get done as much work as I think because I had some kind of thing I had to handle during the day that took up 2 hours of my day. So I'm not going to get that. So then as soon as I know that the schedule is untrue, I retrue the schedule. Stop everything you're doing, replan, retrue it, because we can't ever pursue, towards goals that we don't believe that we can accomplish. So that's the general strategy. And that adapts for that. So what you're saying is, so what I'm saying here is that, yeah, come up with the plan. Like, what is the roadmap? What is the plan that you're going to do? Right. As if no one else is going to be involved. Right. And then when you get those responses back from people, instead of just like immediately saying, okay, this changes the plan and reacting, replan it out. And the lower level of the bigger the gap between event and you're changing your schedule or reaction to it, the more it's a response and proactive, right? Then than the shorter. So the smaller gap, like, you know, if I swat at your face and you flinch, that's reactive, right? It's not responsive. But if I do something and then you think about it and respond and say something, that's much better. But, you know, ultimately, like, if your plan changes and you keep your plan for the whole week and you say, okay, well, since that thing has come up, that's going to get incorporated in next week. That's the most proactive and the most responsive, and that's going to be, you're going to get the best decision. But that's not always the case. So my whole, like, theory here is that you want to react as slowly as possible, because that's going to be more responsive and more proactive. Whereas anything that you're doing immediately, it's not as good, right? Sometimes there are things you have to.
The granularity level you're talking about is a day of response time rather than a week or an hour.
Right. It's like checking your email, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So you got two choices with email checking, right? You can have a notification on your phone and on your desktop, and every time that an email comes in, you can respond to it, and you'll be very, very reactive. Okay. But you won't get shit done. I mean, there's a benefit to that, which is that people will be like, damn, he's so responsive, right? They'll call it responsive, but you'll know that it's reactive, and you'll never miss, you know, things that you need that are time sensitive, right? There's another extreme to that, which is, I forgot, Donald Knuth, the art of computer science, the old professor, right? He has a program called LaTeX, right? It's like a formatting. And what he does is he doesn't have email. I'm not sure if he even has a phone. Okay. And he gets all of his letters, and he looks at all of the bugs that have come in once every 3 months. And then he goes through them all then, and then he does one bug fix and puts out the new version of the software. And his whole correspondence with anyone is like 3 months. Now he's not reactive or responsive enough, right? So there's a medium ground, which most of us have figured out for email. It's like once a day checking email, or twice a day, right? Depending on your job. And so if you think about it, the longer that period is, the better it is, right? So what is the minimum length of period, or the maximum length of period that you can get without suffering from the problem of not being responsive, reactive enough?
Right. So, fair enough. Actually, I'm with you more or less 100% on this in my planning philosophy as well. Like, not changing all the time and keeping it consistent with the plan of the week. But remember, we started talking about the 80-20 and the inside of the strategy inside. There's always another 80-20 inside of it. And you said until you reach the atomic level.
Right.
What did you mean by that? Because I feel like I didn't make that connection there.
So, for instance, like, the atomic level is the direct mapping. Until you're at the atomic level, you're at the abstract level, right? So if I say I need to write a book.
No, let's not talk about writing a book. Let's talk about something that has more external variables involved. Like this deal.
Okay, so like this deal, you come up with the game plan of, like, at the high level, the abstract level is your.
Let me put it this way, right? We talked about the 80-20, and now we're burrowing down on the 80-20 of the 80-20 of the 80-20. So book summaries, using video as a marketing strategy, but now like using very specific email marketing techniques. Oh, affiliate marketing techniques. We're down to that granularity level right now.
Right. Okay.
Right. So now what are we talking?
So with this deal specifically, right? The atomic level for you will look like this: a task on your board that says, I'm sending this email today, right? That's like, and I'm going to do this in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to write this email, or I'm going to send this email. Something that actually maps to the real physical world in real physical time, right? High level project ideas don't, they're abstract. Writing a book, I'm going to, like, fostering a relationship, networking, promoting someone's product. All those things are abstract and high level. If you get to the step of, I'm writing the first email today, I'm going to create I have I'm going to select the 10. Let's say, okay, remember I said the chunky mail thing? Okay, so abstract, not at the atomic level, in my mind would be, I'm going to send a chunky mail to, whatever partner to try and get them to notice me. The lower level would be to break that down and to say, today, first task I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 10 books to send. Second task I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase those books or figure out how that I'm going to mail them. What is the solution that I'm going to use for doing this mailing process? And then the third one will be, I will actually mail these out. And the thing is, like, you might not know what the third one is until you finish the second one, because it's still abstract. But the first one and the second one are no longer abstract. They're concrete. They're at the lowest level because they map to direct physical time. You can say, in the next half hour, in 1 half hour, I'm going to pick 10 books, right? You can actually do that, and you can actually.
This thing just gave me an idea for a video for my sales page. Like, I should literally put a box in front of me and say, all right, let's open let me tell you what you're going to get in this program, and everything is in this box, and then literally pull one book out of the other and talk about that book for like 10 seconds, and then keep pulling books out of it and make a pile of it and say, this is exactly what you're getting in this program.
Right. Oh, and it'd be awesome even to say, like, so that it's less of a pitch, is to be like, to pull out the books one by one and be like, okay, you really need to read this book, because this is like, this book contains this information, this is going to teach you this. So make sure you read this book. Okay, we'll put this one here, pull out this book, like, oh yeah. And don't forget this book, because if you really want to become productive, you're going to need to know this strategy, because he talks about this, blah, blah, blah. Boom, pull that one out, pull that one out. And then you've got this whole pile. And then you're like, but how much you're going to read all these books? Like, you really, I'm trying to narrow it down. So I'm just like, but you got to read all of these books. And then now you've got your solution, for it. I know you don't have the time, and now you can pitch your actual thing.
That's pretty awesome. I think I can find a way to get all 50 of those books delivered. I probably have half of them in some format, in like paperback format at home, but.
So do you know the story of how I got the foreword for my book from Bob Martin?
Who's Bob Martin?
He's a famous software developer who invented or was one of the founders of Agile.
Okay.
Okay, so the full story is like in the actual foreword for soft skills. I don't know if I gave you a copy or not, but I'll give you a copy if you don't have one. But here's a short. Oh yeah, so you should read it. Okay, so but here's a short version of the story. I needed a forward. The publisher told me, okay, we're ready. We're going to press. It looks like you don't have a forward for the book. So we're just going to print it without the forward. And I was like, wait a minute. You didn't tell me, like, we don't have time. Like, I need to get a forward for the book. I really want to get a forward. I thought I was going to have time to do this. Like, well, you have to do it in 1 week. Otherwise, and I don't think that's going to happen. And they're like, and you want Bob Martin, like one of the most famous software developers, to write the forward. It's not going to happen. I was like, no, give me the week. Right. And so, in fact, it wasn't a week. It was 3 days. They said, you got to get it in 3 days. Right. And so I emailed Bob, and I sent this email asking him to write the forward, sent him, a copy like of the book, a bunch of Word documents, all the chapters that I had for the book. And I was like, I know you don't really have time to read this, and this is really short notice, and apologize, but I really wanted to get the forward from you. I highly respect you. You're, my mentor in software development. And he basically sent back a response like, I'm not going to have time. There's no way. And it's kind of like to ask me at this, like, to do something in 3 days, this is there. Yeah, there's no way. I'm flying to London tomorrow to give a workshop. I'm just not, there's no way I would even have time. So I went and I found his address. I looked up his address. Oh, and later on I figured out, I was like, oh shit, on Skype it told me it was his birthday. So on his birthday, I had asked him this request. Didn't even say happy birthday, right? So I'd like text him on Skype. I'm like, oh, by the way, or I sent another email. I was like, oh, by the way, happy birthday. Right. And I was like, and by the way, here's I combined all the manuscript into one PDF file so you wouldn't have to go through all these Word docs. I know you're not going to have time anyway, but here it is anyway, right? So I sent him that basically. And then I found his address. Okay. And I called up Harry and David's, and I overnighted him a gift basket with a ham in it, like from from there, like this gift basket. I had it overnighted to his address before he was going to leave that day to fly out to London. And so then I sent another email, and I was like, I really I appreciate that. It's like, I could forget exactly what I said, but like, I understand that you're not going to do this. It's fine, but anyway, and I had a note in there and stuff. And anyway, I basically was like, I gave him a better version of the document. And I was like, in fact, I told him, I talked to the publisher, and they said they're willing to extend it 3 more days. So it would give you 3 extra days. But, if you're not going to do it, that's totally fine. But anyway, I'm trying the best I can. I got 3 more days.
And your book is a beast, by the way. It's a big book. It's not a small book.
No, yeah. The soft skill. I mean, the other one's bigger, but soft skills is pretty big as well. But anyway, so on the day, like 2 days before it's due, he's basically like, no, I'm not going to do it. Sorry, but thank you. Right. On the day before it was due, right, the forward, I got an email from him. And he wrote the forward, and the forward was the story of me getting him to write the forward,
which is the soft skills thing.
Yes. Yeah. And he's like, and he basically, like, you have to read it to get the full story of it. And my memory, fails me to some degree of the story, but he wrote it up pretty saliently there. But the whole moral of the story is like I had to do it. I was going to make that happen. I had to commit to that thing. And it was, you got to do that thing, right? What is it going to take in order for them to do this promotion? There is a way.
Yeah. There has to be a way to be figured out, because I know they're not using their email marketing properly.
Yeah.
Right. I know they are not making money on their email marketing.
Yeah.
So there has to be a way. I have to figure out a way, is the way I think about it. And it's I almost like I have to start thinking like I'm doing them a freaking big favor.
Exactly.
Rather than them doing me a favor, because I'll literally change their business overnight if they know how to do email marketing properly.
Right. And that's the whole secret of selling, right?
Yeah.
Is realizing that you're doing them a favor.
Yeah. Yeah. The secret to sales is to not sell.
Yeah.
The ultimate paradox of paradoxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We should do our thoughts.
Shit, we've been thoughting all day today.
I know. What is the one thought for the day?
Well, I'm going to go back to the thought we started with, and that's the thought for me to actually think about more and do more rather than just let it be. I think just commit and figure it out later is the thought on my mind right now. Like, just commit and figure it out later rather than constantly change course. Yeah. So that's
mine would be, so this week was a good week. I felt more alive than I've ever felt, or not than I've ever felt, but than I have in a long time. I've been excited. I'm back, right? It's like I'm enthusiastic. I'm not depressed, and the difference here was that, again, and I've talked about this in various forms, but like, and maybe it's not true for everyone. I think it is. So I think it is. So I think most people just don't realize about themselves is that, like, when you're pushing hard, when you're pushing yourself, when you're making yourself, when you're being productive, when you're working hard, that's, at least for me, that's where my bliss is. That's where I have to be.
True for everyone.
And I'm built that way. And if I'm not doing that, like it's like the vacation seems like the thing that you want and need. And I'm not saying that there's not a time to rest at all, but the thing that actually makes you fulfilled and happy in life is pursuing something. It doesn't matter necessarily what it is, as long as you're moving forward and progress. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? If you're progress is happiness, right? To Tony Robbins but it's true. And the thing about it is that when you are depressed, it's the last thing you want to do. It's the furthest thing from the truth in your mind. But because you forget it, and I forget, and I know this, but I forget this all the time. And I'm like, surely that's not the solution. But you have to. It goes back to, I could circle it back to committing. Is like this week I said, fuck it. I'm waking up at 5:30 every morning and I'm running. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm planning my schedule and I'm planning my week and I'm doing this shit and I'm going to work hard this week. And once I committed to that, it changed everything. So
yeah, that's so true. I think we've been talking about this idea so much over the last probably few months, right? Ever since you kind of handed off simple programmer duties, like we've been going through the ups and downs, and the whole, like, the idea from outwitting the devil within that Napoleon Hill talks about, like the devil will get you when you're drifting.
Exactly.
Drifting is the biggest reason, biggest of all the reasons he pointed out in the book, like negative thought and news and negative media and all that stuff. None of that is really anywhere close to as powerful as drifting. Because when you are on a mission, when you are on a purpose, all of this stuff can literally not hurt, like it cannot get to you.
Right.
But when you're not on a mission, not on a purpose, any of the stuff will get you.
Right.
And it will destroy you. Right? Gambling or bad friends or all of those things. It will all happen very quickly. But when you're on a mission, when you're on a purpose, it's almost impossible that you'll succumb to any of those temptations. You'll succumb to any of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And deep work, you read Deep Work, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Deep Work, Cal Newport talks about the idea that our brain makes a concept of the world depending on what we constantly see around us. So if all we see is like emails and news and this and that, then all we think is it's a frazzled, busy world. But if all we do is create value and feel like we're valuable, then we feel our life is meaningful and fulfilling.
Right, exactly.
So the brain is constructing meaning around what we're paying attention to.
Yeah. It's good to keep your head down and just focus. When I was writing both of my books, I just focus on writing. I don't care what else is going around, what's happening. I need to get this shit done. Work on that. And that was the key.
Yeah. Awesome, my friend.
All right, guys. All right. See you next week.
Yeah. Bye-bye.